Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and today, as you can see by the title, we are here for round number 5 of the PSGL season here in Zandvoort. If you didn't see last race in, Belgium, we managed to get P4 after getting knocked out in Q2. So that was a decent drive. But looking at the championship then, after 4 rounds, we're actually in 4th place somehow. I'm not too sure how we've managed that. We've had some pretty average races. But yeah, I'm not too worried about the championship. We're having fun. So yeah, coming into this one, actually on this day, Thursday the 4th, I didn't actually think I was gonna make it today. So I've literally done no practice. Like, I haven't touched the game today. It normally takes me a few laps to warm up, so we'll see how this goes. It shouldn't be too bad. You see there, I actually didn't think I was going to be racing today, but I managed to get in just in time. So we didn't actually do any laps before this, or today. So yeah, pace isn't going to be amazing, but we did do some practice the day before, which was the Wednesday, and the pace was pretty good then. So yeah, let's hope we get warmed up pretty quickly, and we'll see what we can do. So finishing our first run in Q1 on hopefully what should be our only run. As you can see, we do an 8.0, which I'm not sure if that was a good lap at this point, but as you can see, Jarno goes to P1 with a 0.9, so we're not too far off. So yeah, pace doesn't seem very bad like I thought it would be, so that's good signs. And yeah, that 8.0 was enough to take us through to Q2, as you can see on screen. As you can see, the times are very close, so it's going to be crucial not to mess up any part of your laps. Otherwise, yeah, you might be starting 2-3 positions lower just from one little mistake. So yeah, doing our Q2 lap now then. Once again, hoping to only use one set. Well, actually, we went softer, so we have 2 sets of tyres to use. And then 2 sets in Q3. And as you can see, coming up to the line, we do a 7.9, which is 1,000, well, what we thought was 1,000 off Jarno on the same tyres, but he was actually on his set from Q1, so that just shows the pace he had compared to us this week. So yeah, you can do 3 runs, 1 on the set from Q1 and then 2 fresh sets, but we just went straight out on a fresh set. I don't know why, but yeah, going on to our second run in Q2, we are up on our time by a little bit, and we cross the line to do a 7.8, which is enough for P4. Obviously, these aren't insane laps, but yeah, the main thing is that is enough. It's safe and is getting us through into Q3, as you can see in P5 once again. But yeah, notably, Simon Weigang, very fast driver, out in Q2, just like we were last week. So yeah, interesting to see what he can do. He'll be in the prime position for the alternate strategy, so maybe he can get back into the race. But now, yeah, going into Q3, 2 fresh sets because we did that 1 run in Q1. So yeah, first run was quite poor. There was quite a lot of mistakes, and we do a 7.9. As you can see, we're not happy with that. But crucially, we do have 1 more run, and yeah, going on board for the full lap of my fastest run in the session. Making sure to cool your tyres down before the lap starts, because the rear left tyre does get quite hot. And now, coming into turn 1, looking for the F1 2020 board as your braking point, down into 3rd gear, as close to that inside curb as possible. Don't touch it though, because it will send you into a wall. Into turn 3 and 4, 5th gear, avoid that curb on the inside, and then down into 3rd. Stay fairly tight, and then put the power down in 3rd or 4th gear. And the traction is fairly easy there. Now, preparing yourself for the fast right-hander, just after the brake board on the left, or not brake board, but the board on the left, down to 7th gear, or hold her in 7th gear, and then into the fast right-hander, just after the 50-meter board turn-in point. Into this tricky middle sector then. Make sure you stay close to that curb, but don't go over it. Into the left-hander, once again, as close as possible. Don't touch it, or you will go flying into a wall. We don't take as much speed on the X as we'd like, but we are up by quite a bit. Coming into the 3rd sector, braking on the curb, down to 3rd gear, take a lot of this curb, and then we mess this up quite a bit. We get a terrible exit. And yeah, not a brilliant lap, but coming into the final corner, just after the 50-meter board, as close to that inside curb as possible once again. Use all the exit curb. And yeah, we were a bit too safe on that lap. And as you can see, come to line is only a 0.6. And we're P5. Yeah, and that was deserved. We were just too cautious. We didn't really push the limits. And as I say there, we don't really have the pace. Even though we're only around a 10th off. Yeah, P6. Really close margin, especially at this track. We couldn't afford to take a safe, and we did. And we end up in P6. So, yeah, that just shows you. Even if the lap to you guys looked really good, and the 7.6 is a good lap, if you don't really push the limits, then, yeah, you can end up 6th instead of maybe P3. So, yeah, unfortunate, but P6 isn't the worst starting position. We can still make up some positions from this race and see if we can get a podium. So, jumping straight into it then, for the Dutch Grand Prix here in PSGL for round 5. It's lights out, and we are probably going to get the worst start on the grid once again. And actually, it's not. It's still bad, but it's not the worst compared to recent races anyway. So we're going to maintain P6 through turn 1, which is always good. It's been a while since we've actually maintained. Still haven't gained a position off the start, I don't think, ever. But yeah, can't complain with that. And now, as I literally saying every single.
Flags, yes. Okay, I'll just get out of the way. Nice. Thank you, game.
Cody's giving me blue flags. Wow. But yeah, as I say in every single video, when you're in this train, make sure you're saving your tires, ERS, fuel, and especially ERS for this track, because you pretty much don't gain anything back, or you barely gain any ERS. And someone in chat's going to remind us, because we have a habit of just deploying a little bit of ERS coming out of corners to stick close to the car behind. But we really can't afford to do that. So yeah, we're just going to save, and then maybe try and go for an undercut or an overcut, depending on what the situation is looking like. But yeah, but for now, we're just sitting in this train. So skipping all the way onto lap 10 then, because of course nothing happens in these trains. As you can see, we pretty much have a full battery of ERS. We're thinking about making our pit stop now. The pit window is around lap 10 for hard tyres to the end. But we're not sure whether to actually go for an undercut or go for an overcut. So we're just going to try and react to the guys ahead of us. I believe it's Jarno Otmir still leading right now. Or I believe it's Karaton leading actually from Jarno. And as you can see, coming on to lap 11, my teammate Timon pits. And I think we're planning on boxing this lap. The main thing that we don't want is to get held. As you all probably know by now, getting held in the pits is a big thing in this game, especially with the huge trains and the little bug that holds you in your pit box for a slight period longer than what you should be held for. So yeah, that's the main thing we're watching out for. I believe there was 1 or 2 cars behind us that could hold us up if we were to pit this lap. So yeah. So coming towards the end of lap 11, we see the Ferrari pit. We go to pit, but we cut the pit exit line.
Can't cut that pit lane line. How would have got a penalty?
And at the last second, we back out of it and stay on track. And that that could have been dangerous. Pretty much as soon as I seen that we cut the pit lane line, I slowed down and turned left.
From getting a penalty there.
If we kept going at full speed, we could have ended up right in that pit wall. But yeah, we didn't want to get a penalty. So I think I did make the right call by slowing down and swerving left. It would have been a bit more awkward if there was someone on the left of me, because they would be in the wall and out of this race. But yeah, saved ourselves from getting a penalty there. We were simply just reacting to the Ferrari. But it was too late. We've already cut the line. And now we've had to use a lot of ERS to stay with Alessio. And as I said before, you don't gain much back, only in pit stops. So yeah, the situation went from fairly good to a lot worse now. But we are going to pit this lap. I believe Karaton is going to stay out even longer, which suggests that he's going on to mediums. So does Alessio. But interestingly, they're both in the same car. So only one of them can pit this lap. And I assume that's going to be Alessio. So yeah, coming into the pits, we don't really get held. Well, I don't think so anyway. And coming out of the pits now, it's going to be quite close between us and our teammate as we actually do hit the wall. And almost get wing damage. But yeah, we've come out behind our teammate. But we're on 2 lap fresher tyres, so not too bad. And oh my, now it is a massive train. yeah, Julian's holding up the pack. And Prashnada actually decides to go for a move round the outside into the right-hander. He actually turns it on Julian. Philip crashes out. They collect Fab. We sneak up the inside. Our teammate Timon goes around the outside, and we've just gained a bunch of... We gained 3 positions.
What just happened?
And crucially, part of that crash was Prashnada and Fabrizio Donoso, who were both ahead of me. So we've gained an effective 2 positions. So yeah, them kind of things. Oh, as we almost lose the car. Them kind of things where you just want to stay back and just slow down and let the carnage unfold in front of you. And if we took a little bit more speed into that corner, we probably would have been collected and our front wing would be gone. But as soon as we seen Julian and Prashnada start the half spin, we started to slow down a lot more than we normally would. So skip it on to lap 16 now then. As you can see, we've caught up to the back of 20 on the medium tyres. We're on the fresh hards. And he lets us go, or he makes it very easy for us. And Timon also goes to the move. And yeah. Now next up is OMG's Joe, who started on the hards. And then is Simon Vigang on the mediums, who's yet to pit. So 1 lap later, we get the move done on Joe. And as you can see, Simon has a 3-second penalty. So yeah, that's definitely going to hurt him, especially with how close everyone is. Coming towards the end of this race when he's on fresh tyres and he's pushing towards the end. So yeah, I believe we're on 2 warnings at this point. And we really don't want to get another warning. Because we're actually told that Karatong cut the pit exit, so if he was to get reported, that would be a 5-second penalty. And he's not that far up the road, so we could potentially be on for a net P3 here, depending on what happens to Karaton. So it's important that we don't get that penalty. Otherwise, we could be in P4 instead. So moving on to lap 22 then, as you can see, we've caught up to Simon, and he decides to let us go. He has that penalty, and we're just on different strategies, and maybe a bit of a friendship bias there from Simon, so he just lets us go. And now we can focus on Alessio, which, to be completely honest, a driver of Alessio's skill level, and having being close to Yano, so that potentially could have DRS, it's unlikely that we're going to catch that much. And since we're on low ERS, yeah, it's very unlikely that we're actually going to catch. So now it's just about keeping it consistent, no warnings, obviously don't spin or anything like that. And yeah, hopefully within a 3-second window or 5-second window of Karaton. So if he gets reported, then yeah, we'll be into that P3 position. But yeah, apart from that, all we can really do is hope for a crash or something like that. Otherwise, it could just be a lonely P4, no one ahead of us.
Yeah, Simon's my friend, and we're just on different strategies, so yeah, it makes sense.
As I say there, reasoning why Simon led through. And yeah, and as I said, skipping on to lap 36 out of 36. Nothing happened. When I say nothing happened, I mean literally nothing happened. Well, actually no, I've lied. Alessio got past Karaton, who was on struggling mediums, but we are not going to catch enough to overtake on track. So yeah, we were literally just stuck in P4, driving around for God knows how many laps. And yeah, that's it. We finish in P4 provisionally. Yano Amir takes the win. Alessio Di Capo at P2. Alvaro Karaton P3 and us in P4. Depending on whether Karaton gets that penalty, we could see ourselves in P3. But we'll have to see.
Who was it who was holding them up? Was it Julian? I think it was.
But yeah, that's all from me. Sorry about the fairly, well, lack of action after like lap 20 or wherever it was, but literally nothing happened. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave any feedback you want. I read all the comments as per usual. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.